Welcome to our special off-air session around strategy, where we're going to have a little chat about market research and creating a business idea. Obviously, when you've come up with a business idea, you need to research the market to make sure that there is a market indeed for that idea that you've come up with. It could be a new product, or it could be a new service or a new division of your business. There's three key ways that you can look at market research for your new idea. The first one is obviously customer feedback, and sometimes that can be the thing that actually generates the idea in the first place. So surveying your customers, a lot of businesses overlook this and they just get so focused on doing new stuff for new customers and not actually really going to the people that buy from them, who have got a wealth of knowledge, and they can tell you straight away what you need to do better, or if there's something extra that they need that you could solve the problem of. So think about customer feedback, about doing surveys. A little source that you could use is a thing called SurveyMonkey. It's a free service. You can pay for a much more deeper version of it, but the basic version, SurveyMonkey, allows you to create an online survey that you can send instantly out to your customers to get some feedback from them. Even just talking to your customers, sharing time with them, will give you an idea of some thoughts on how you could improve a service or a product delivery. The next thing is to ask your staff. I mean, bring your staff together, have a session with them. We do those brand strategy sessions where we have half a day, where we get businesses out of the office for a day where they just work on the business instead of in the business. As Michael Gerber talks about in his E-Myth book, too many times we're working in the business instead of doing the helicopter view and working on the business. But if you bring your staff together, it's so important, because your staff are actually representing areas of your business that you may not be impacted upon. For example, from your front office staff right through to your design team, or your delivery drivers, or people actually out in the field. I mean, between them and yourself and your executive team together, you get a whole cross-section of your business, and each of you will have different ideas around that. So that's great market research as well. You can also research your market itself. So you can do Google searching, look at what's happening in your market. So I mean, if there's trends that are happening in your market, then there's an opportunity for you to identify a performance gap that you could solve for the future, but start delivering it now. Three friends from Cambridge University came up with an idea where they wanted to create a new smoothie for the market. Just to give you a kind of an example. Now, this new smoothie, they reckon there was a bit of a gap in the market for something that would be more ingredient and focused, something natural to bring to the market, something healthy. So they decided that these three guys would get together after studying at Cambridge together in England, and to see whether they were going to do this type of business innovation. They decided to take a stand at a music festival, and they basically created a stall, and they just asked people to sort of come up to this stall and ask them questions about would you buy a new product? Should we go into business, yes or no? And basically people had empty cartons of an existing drink they might have had, and they threw it into one bin that said yes and one bin that said no. Very simple form of interactive customer survey, which incidentally came out with the yes, and they decided to create their business. Within the first 2 years, it turned over $1 million. It's called Innocent Drinks, and it now owns 75% of the UK market. And in 2009, they sold 18% of it to Coca-Cola for a whopping $30 million. So from a very basic idea that three friends had, they did the market research, and then they created something that people wanted to see and have. You need to kind of think through the angles whenever you come up with a business idea. Is not just jump on it straight away, but think through all the possible angles of how that business idea might come about. Sometimes your great ideas are great 1 minute, but you think about them overnight, they're not so great in the light of day. So think about all types of angles before you persevere with that particular business idea. It's important to also check on timing. Sometimes you can have the most fantastic idea, but if the timing isn't right, then it's not going to work. So think about timing. There's some ideas that I've had in business that have not worked at the time, but then I've realized a year or so later that had I had them then, it would have been a better time. Like the industry wasn't ready. The market wasn't ready. So you need to check out, what's happening in that market. Is it the right timing for your particular business idea? And then introduce it then. It's important to get feedback, find out, build a prototype. They reckon that it's better to have 70% of the idea pretty much right than wait for it to be 100% right before you take it to market. Get it about 70% right and then get it out into the marketplace. Get some feedback. Make a prototype of your idea. If it's a product or if it's a service, start introducing it amongst your other services that you deliver. Get some feedback, make the tweaks, make the amendments, and then you get your final one. As soon as you have that, it's time to look at budgeting, finance the product to make sure that that you're going to be able to deliver it to market and do it effectively. So make sure that you've got enough budget. You might even need to get investment to make it happen. Once all those things are together, the final thing that sometimes people overlook is to make sure you completely protect that idea, whether it be a product or service or a name, by making sure the brand is trademarked. If it's a particular process, then you might want to patent that as well, but either way, make sure you protect it before you take it to market. Once, of course, you've got that ready to go, then it's time to take ownership. And that doesn't mean you take ownership. It's important to involve your whole team, so you're not just doing this yourself. So bring in your team, and then together, each of you own different parts of taking that product to market. I wish you all the best with your great business idea, and I look forward to seeing it on the market.